Well, this should be fun. Last week's video was on the El Diablo, and apparently I should have had a trigger warning because a lot of the Harley Simps that I mentioned in the video all came out of the woodwork to complain, and that was pretty fantastic. So I figured, why not just have an entire video on Harley Simps? Because let's be honest, you guys you're like Harley. You just keep providing the material and making it so damn easy. This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Yep, we're just raging simps 3 days a week. It's awesome. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. You want to save 15% on a Cardo communicator? Check my referral code down below. You want to support me on my coffee page? I need to start popping up like, supporters and stuff somewhere around here. That's coming. And videos exclusive to the coffee subscribers coming sometime this month. And if you want to see why I'm asking you for money, that link is down below as well. Spoiler alert, it is for a good cause. It's not for my personal gain. So let's just jump right into this one and let's talk about Harley Simps. And you're probably saying to yourself, man, you covered Harley Simps quite a bit last week. Why are we doing this again? Well, last week's video was mainly on the El Diablo and how that thing just kind of grind my gears. And, yes, I peppered in the Harley Simps because there's a lot of them and they give you lots of reasons to kind of make fun of them and poke and prod at them. Fortunately, a lot of them actually kind of came out of the woodwork. If you go to the comments section from last week and you actually click on Salty and Sprinkles, who's not a Harley Simp, but click on his comments, you'll see like 24 comments that just kind of go for a bit with a couple of simps that just jumped in there and they're like, oh, you suck, bah. And so they really inspired this video on top of, other stuff that I've seen, especially like with the whole El Diablo rollout. It's just this whole vicious cycle of simp stuff. What's the plural of simp fuckery? Yeah, there's just this way more simp fuckery because the El Diablo is out. Now here's the thing with Harley Simps. No matter what Harley poops out onto the factory line, no matter how bad they screw you, no matter how bad they don't give a crap, no matter how bad they just regurgitate old shit from the 70s, which again, I don't understand this whole callback to the AMF years because I see that a lot. They're like, oh, check out this AMF paint job and stuff. Great. You are calling back to the decade when a bowling pin factory owned your bikes and everything leaked, broke down, and was shit. Yeah, way to get away from that whole stereotype of Harleys being unreliable, leaky pieces of shit. How have you guys not sat there and said maybe we should pick a different decade than the AMF decade? You dumbasses. But it doesn't matter really because Harley Simps are there. They're like, oh my God, Harley just did the most amazing thing. This is so great. Oh, they really speak to me. Oh, I don't mind if they're increased the price 50% and gave me 75% less stuff. This is so great. And then if anyone speaks up against Harley Simps have these fantastic arguments oh, you're just mad because you can't afford it. Now look, for me personally, when I see people start throwing around how much they make on the internet and all this stuff, you've already lost the argument. When you've got to sit there and go, I make this much money or you can't afford this and stuff, it's just dumb. I mean, straight up, if I really wanted an El Diablo and all that, they're already getting delivered by my dealerships and nobody's claimed them yet. Honestly, I could afford one and I could get one. I literally do not want one and I think they are dumb. So it's not, I can't afford it, like you stupid ass Harley Simps keep saying. And it's the same if you ever complain about the Harley CVOs or anything like that. let's be honest, a CVO is a glorified, overpriced paint job because you're really not getting too much more. Especially with the Harleys, like Harley releasing the ST line now, where you're getting the CVO engine in there for like 10,000 less. I still think those bikes are overpriced as well, but at the end of the day, really all you're getting off of CVO now is an overpriced paint job. And you'll get these simps who are like, oh, well, you're just mad because you can't afford it. No, it's just, I looked at it and I'm like, I don't want this because I would still have to add like $10,000 worth of stuff to make this a bike I'd want to ride. Like, this is not off the floor ready to go. There's still a lot of crap on there, including the shit sounding pipes and the horrible ass handlebars that Harley seems to just bolt to every single one of their bikes. That argument is just so dumb. Yet that's one that Harley Simps just drop right into. And then the next one they drop into is like, oh, well, it's okay because the resale value is so awesome, and I traded it in for the same price I bought it at, so I rode it for free. Like, unfortunately, this is, I don't even care about this argument because this is so stupid. Like, when I buy a bike to own it long term. I'm not treating it like freaking trading cards where I bring it back to the dealership every year or two and just trade it in for another bike. Let's be honest, Harley does not change their bikes enough from year to year to make that even worth it. And then most of you idiots, like, you sit there and you bolt on a bunch of crap anyway, so you're still paying for more stuff and then you're trading the bike in. And this isn't even just CVO level. I'm talking like just normal, like, you know, the standard level, the ST levels, the special levels, the special, like you guys wearing a helmet special, like all these other levels of bikes. You guys like buy a bunch of stuff. Then when you go to trade it in, your dealer is like, well, we're not going to pay you for that because people like factory, and that's a whole other like load of shit that I'm not going to get into. But there's those Harley Simps, like, you know, raising that flag and sitting there doing that. The ones from last week were actually fantastic because, like, I had one or maybe two. I lost track because they were basically just saying the same shit. But they were like, oh, well, you know, I came here to find some news on the Harley, El Diablo, and yeah, then you just talked mad shit about it, but it doesn't matter because your channel's really small anyway. I know my channel's small, this isn't really a surprise, but high five to you for pointing that out. At the same time, though, it was a small channel when you clicked into it, dumbass. Did you really think that I had some special insider, like, you know, information that you were gonna find out? It's not like you clicked into a 1 million subscriber like video, and then when you clicked out, all but 1,700 of the subscribers left. Like, it was a small channel to start with. You were just upset because I didn't provide you with that echo chamber that you wanted of, oh my god, the El Diablo's the best bike ever. You stupid Harley simp. You guys are idiots. And like, sitting there going, oh, well, your channel isn't big enough. All channels have to grow, man. Like, we don't start at 300,000, 400,000, whatever subscribers. You have to grow. And I know that you pointed out some bigger channels. Those channels as well did not start off as big channels. They had to grow. Some of them have been at it for like a decade. So why don't you settle your ass down a little bit? I think, if anything, your dumb Harley simp ass is just really upset because you were so dumb that you clicked into a video called The Harley El Diablo Grinds My Gears, and then were upset that I didn't talk about how awesome it was. Like, the only people that are really to blame for this whole incident is YouTube, for not having some sort of like IQ test before you leave a comment on a video or click to watch the video. Like, you know, just some basic comprehension skills where, like, you know, when you show up and you're like, I want to learn about the Harley El Diablo and I want to hear how great it is. Oh, look, this video says grind my gears. I bet it's going to talk about all the awesome things. And then when you click on it, YouTube goes, hey, Harley Simp, how you doing? Do you understand what grinds my gears means? Do you understand what satire is? Do you understand what a joke is? No? Well, you can't come in. I'm sorry. Like, it is just absolutely insane. And then some of them, like, they just kept going. They could not admit that they just did a bunch of stupid, and then they were mad that I didn't, like, you know, support that stupid. Like, they were like, oh, well, you're attacking me and you're shouting me down for not seeing your point of view. Yeah, that's kind of what you did anyway. You came into my video and you sat there and like, oh, you're just mad because Harley didn't invite you to come ride the bike too. Spoiler alert, it's a lowrider ST with a red paint job. If I want to know how it rides, I could just go to a Harley dealership and ride a Harley ST that is not red. It's not going to ride differently because it has a custom paint job. And that's another thing you Harley simps need to calm down on. Stop buying into like Harley every time they're like, oh, this is custom this, custom that. It's not custom. Even if the El Diablo, like the El Diablo has a numbered plate on it because there is 1,500 of them. Let's just be honest. When somebody has to sit there and do the same paint job 1,500 times, it kind of stops being custom. Even if it slightly varies because he's falling asleep because he has to paint the exact same shit 1,500 times, it's still not custom. You need to calm down on this shit. I don't care if it's hand painted or machine painted, it is not custom. You're the same idiots that will sit there and like put some tinted light covers on your directionals, add a few vinyl decals, and maybe change your seat and be like, check out my bike, I customized it. You stupid Harley simp. You guys are so annoying. You'll order out of like everything out of the catalog bolted on. You're like, I customized my bike. No, shut up. You're so dumb. You're so dumb. Like everything Harley simps do is just absolutely ridiculous. And there's a few king Harley simps out there. One of them has a dealership and like he will polish any turd. He gets the buffer out and he just buffs that freaking Harley turd that gets dropped out every single time. But the biggest problem is you've got all these other Harley simps that you were just afraid to say anything bad about the Moco, and it's absolutely insane. Here's the thing, you can love something and still be critical of it. That's how you get them to actually develop and like have progress and improve and get better. Because if you're just sitting there going, everything you do is great, never change, and then when they try and change, you're like, I hate you. Like, that seems to be the only time that Harley simps really complain, is when Harley's like, oh, we're gonna try and do something a little bit different. Then you're all like, no, fuck you, I'm out of here. I want an air-cooled V-twin from 1910, and if I don't get it, I hate you. You're like a bunch of little bratty children. You guys are idiots. Like, it is just absolutely insane how many Harley simps are out there and how you will like defend Harley all the way to the grave no matter how much they are just screwing you over. Like Harley leaves the lube at home and shows up on your door and tells you to grab your ankles and you're like, this is the best day of my life. Here's my credit card. And it's just out of control. Seriously, Harley simps, you guys are absolutely out of control. You grind my gears, you're on notice, knock it off. I mean, for real, like Harley simps are like a bottomless well. I could almost do a video a week. I could probably do 2 videos a week of just Harley simps. And like the ones that like came at me on the El Diablo thing, that was absolutely hilarious. It was like, your channel's small because you're angry. It's like, shut up. You know what? There's a ton of positive channels that are even smaller than me. It happens. And you know what? I don't care. It's like, I just stay the course. I be me. I do my thing. And I go forward. And hope that I reach a market that is, you know, on board with what I do and want to follow what I do. Because let's be honest, if you're acting, if you're making stuff up, if you're trying to chase a trend, you're always going to be one step behind. So I have no interest in that. I'd rather just be me. And if that means my ceiling is a whole lot lower than like, you know, some of these big channels, I'm cool with that. I am. It's all good. But anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Unless you're a Harley simp, then seriously, go fuck yourself. Share this video with friends. Share it with family. Share it with that one Harley simp you know who's like, oh, everything Harley does is amazing. It never does anything wrong. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see you all on the flip side.